I've never lived in a place where I feel so connected to the people here. We have the best neighbors. There's this sense of community and family that is very, very unique and very special.
My wife and I selected Carlsbad as a place to raise our kids because we knew it was going to be a good place for us over the long term.
I went to La Costa Canyon. I spent most of my summers at Ponto Beach in the southern end of the city. And so even prior to becoming a police officer in Carlsbad, I have a lot of memories here.
I'm fortunate enough to live here and be able to shape what Carlsbad is today.
When I have time, I like to get out for an early morning surf with the boys. I really wanted to give them a chance to experience living by the beach while they were growing up. We're so glad we chose Carlsbad because we really feel like we're part of the community here.
Carlsbad is growing up. We're just not the same small beach town that we used to be. As a city employee, as the city changes, I really want to make sure that we hold on to those things that make our city special and that we maintain that strong connection with the community that makes us so unique.
When we first lived here, lots of open fields, lots of empty beaches.
There is a lot of construction going on all the time. All the roads are always under construction, especially El Camino Real.
I would like to leave Carlsbad the way it is.
I've worked here for over 30 years, and growth has always been a hot topic here in the community. The level of development is cyclical. It's busy right now because the economy's good. But if you take a historical look, what we're seeing today is nothing like the growth we saw in the 80s. That's when Carlsbad residents voted for the growth management plan. That was really a turning point. Today, we're seeing some of the last major new home developments getting built. And because of the way the city manages growth, the roads and other infrastructure to support those homes are being built at the same time. That way our quality of life here in Carlsbad is preserved.
With as beautiful a place as Carlsbad is, of course people are always going to want to move here. But if you look at the things that make it such a great place to live, open space and trails, great parks, great libraries, arts and culture, all of those things have been provided along with growth. And in many cases, those are paid for by developers. I've worked for a lot of cities, and I can say that Carlsbad's approach really is unique.
The village is truly the heartbeat of Carlsbad. Started back in the 1880s, and now it is just a vibrant hub, great restaurants, great shopping, great energy, and our beach is only 2 blocks away.
We're able to walk everywhere, to restaurants, we walk our dog, we walk to the beach.
We love the fact that the village is nice and walkable. When people walk instead of drive, the real difference is that you're able to look each other in the eyes, smile, maybe strike up a conversation, and that's one of the things we really value about living in this area.
There are people that are out and about any time of the week. You've got these different street fairs and festivals.
One of the City Council's main goals over the past couple of years is to work with NCTD and our Regional Transportation Planning Agency to lower the train tracks in the northern part of the city. This project's really critical to protecting the quality of life in these neighborhoods.
I think that sounds like a good idea, like they have in Solana Beach.
I would expect if they do drop it down that it will have a positive effect on the noise.
Essentially what we know is that a second set of tracks is going to be run through the village and barrio area and throughout Carlsbad. And along with that comes double the train trips on a daily basis. So where we have 50 trains coming through today, we'll have about 100 trains coming through. One of the other advantages that would come with lowering the tracks below street level is that public safety services like fire, police, ambulance services that need to get across to the west side of the tracks wouldn't be caught up in congestion and traffic.
I think it will transform our village. It will reduce noise, pollution, increase safety, and make us even more of a top-notch city.
The city has been working on an updated master plan for the village and barrio for a few years now. We've gotten a lot of input, and the final draft of the plan is almost done.
We participated in some of the early Village and Barrio Plan workshops at the Senior Center, and it's always good to have the community give their input, and people don't always agree, and so it's good to have hear all sides of the issue.
While we work on a long-term plan for these areas, we're continuing to move forward with a number of improvements. We're working on drainage projects, we are adding street lighting to make it more warm and inviting, and we're improving accessibility to make it easier for those who are walking and biking to experience everything the village and barrio has to offer.
I think the city's tourism revenue is really important. By them coming here on vacation, we get to pay for the police, the fire, the general services, the parks, the libraries. And by having more people vacation here, it allows our residents to even have more community.
Carlsbad, I would have to say, the perfect location for a Legoland resort because we have the beaches nearby, lots of other very good attractions and hotels nearby. It's a beautiful environment, and with the weather, we can be open just about all year. So for all reasons, it's a fantastic place for us to be.
Carlsbad's economy continues to be strong, which has a direct effect on our city budget. Not only can the city maintain a balanced budget with healthy reserves, but we can also make sure we're providing a really high level of service to our community.
With initiatives like Innovate 78, we're constantly working with our neighboring communities to make sure that our local economy stays strong. Most people know that Carlsbad has a really strong tourism economy, but what they don't know is that we also have a lot of businesses in action sports, life sciences, information and communications technology, and clean tech. This year, we've seen a lot of new businesses open and existing businesses expand.
We had a lot of support from the very beginning from Carlsbad city government.
There is definitely a focus on balance and on preserving the natural resources that exist here. And I think that makes it a really amazing place to live.
It's important to protect the earth because this is the only earth we have.
The city has a very important role in protecting the environment. We're the only city in North County that has a habitat management plan. And through this habitat management plan, we take a very scientific approach to managing our preserve system and protecting the plants and animals that live here. So far, we've added about 6,000 acres to our preserve system, and that's about 92% of our overall target.
The state of California has set out ambitious goals for the state to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But it realizes that assistance is going to be needed from the local communities. Our climate action plan is Carlsbad's way of doing its share to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Carlsbad is just getting started with its climate action plan. Residents can do their part by installing more energy efficient appliances, and adding photovoltaics, solar systems onto the roofs, or by driving less, whether that's through carpooling your kids to school, biking, or walking for short trips, and using the transit system.
First thing in the morning, while most of the community is still asleep, our crews are getting ready for the day.
My day starts at 4 a.m. and I get here and I get ready, I meet with the crews, and then we talk about the day's assignment, and then crews disperse and they go work their magic.
Carlsbad is rolling out a new app called City at Your Service. It allows you to submit service requests for public works, and that information goes directly to the responsible parties.
So the repair that we're fixing today came in through the Carlsbad at Your Service app, and we were able to do an emergency repair to remove the tripping hazard, and today we came out and did the permanent repair.
We do a lot of engineering and a lot of planning for all the infrastructure in Carlsbad. We also manage and maintain all of the water systems. If you think of the reclaimed water system that we have in Carlsbad. Also on the list of things that Public Works takes care of is all of our roads, all of our sidewalks, our traffic lights, our street lights, and a lot of the signs around Carlsbad. The work that we do is so meaningful to all of us. We take great pride every day in making sure that everything's running smoothly so that the community can take care of whatever they need to take care of that day. If you don't notice us, that's our goal.
I think the Carlsbad Police Department balances finding new technology and progressive technology with reaching out to the residents of Carlsbad by constantly looking at what can we do to make the community safer by using technology. The new body cameras that all the officers in the field are wearing, and I'm wearing right now, is really a technology aid that we are able to use to capture all enforcement type of activity out in the field. The officers have embraced these cameras because they feel it will really show what is occurring on every type of contact. We are constantly looking at new technology aids with the baseline of how can we build trust with our residents and what can we do to make the community safer with those technology aids.
This summer, the City of Carlsbad put lifeguards on the beach on the northernmost sections, so from Oak to the North City limits. This section of beach became real popular over the last few years, prompting the concerns about the safety with those numbers of people. Unlike the rest of the beaches in Carlsbad, this section is not managed by the State of California Parks and Recreation Department. The lifeguards have had the opportunity to talk to thousands of beachgoers and explain to them the areas that are safe to swim and areas that are not safe to swim in. The goal here is to prevent the emergency from ever happening.
I'm really thankful for our community parks and locations throughout the city. I think they're all pretty wonderful, so I would certainly support more of that.
Here I am standing on the site of the future Pine Avenue Park Community Center. It's been a long time in the making, and we're thrilled to be able to provide this amenity to the residents and visitors of Carlsbad. Its adjacency to the existing senior center makes this a true multi-generational facility with activities and programs for people of all ages.
The Carlsbad Senior Center is outstanding, and it has so many variety of things to do.
I take yoga here and aerobics and Tai Chi. There's so many things I haven't even touched on yet. It's a wonderful place.
People don't know that there are others in the community who struggle with reading and writing. Literacy Services at the Carlsbad City Library offers free reading, writing, and computer help. Adult learners are matched with volunteer tutors whom we train to work on specific goals that the learner wants to meet in their life.
The literacy program changed my life. I like coming here because it's more like a family.
So the literacy program here at Carlsbad is a marvelous program.
We help adults change their lives, and what's great is the volunteers are also changing their lives and helping someone change theirs.
Carlsbad, like most cities in California, has elected its council at large or citywide. So every 2 years when 2 seats come up, anyone who lives in the city can run, and each voter would cast 2 votes for their top 2 picks for the council. Starting in 2018, the city will now use district elections, where the candidate has to live in a given district and only the voters in that district will vote for who's going to represent their area.
I truly hope that district voting won't divide us as a community.
I think there's actually an opportunity for district voting to create a greater understanding among people that live in different parts of the city.
One of the great things about a democratic society is active citizens, and if citizens aren't willing to participate in democracy, it's not going to be successful. And I really feel like in our community, we have a lot of great people that won't let ugly politics tear us apart. We started our Carlsbad Student Leader Academy in the fall of 2016 after about 2 years of planning effort. We already have our Citizens Academy where residents can come learn how the city works and how they can be involved, and the City Stuff program for 3rd graders. Now we have a program partnering with the schools as well for teens.
I would like to leave a community that is just as beautiful as it is now.
A city that has the capacity to adapt and evolve.
One that looks to empower the individual.
My daughter has gone through Carlsbad schools for 12, 13 years, and she's about to leave. And if she were to come back, say 5, 10 years from now, I would hope that Carlsbad would still have the same beach community that she's grown up with. There's a small town feel that you think is missing in a lot of America, but it's not. It's right here.